Good afternoon, family. This is J.Davis coming to you from the mentorship program. We're a group of brothers, plain men with a purpose, coming to you from our page, Brothers for a Better Benton Harbor. And we're just trying to do some things to help in the way that we can to bring our people back to a place of prosperity, flourishing, and abundance for ourselves. The subject for this month is healthy minds. As we're celebrating the holiday season, going into Christmas, I'm very grateful and thankful for the holiday and what this season brings, what it means, the true reason for the season, what it brings about as far as thoughts of living and just being in this world. Healthy mind. I was doing a little research, doing some reading and some thinking also on this subject. It's a very strong subject, very powerful, because the mind is everything. Ever since I was about 16 years of age, I believe, I've always was inquisitive about the mind. I wanted to be a psychiatrist or psychologist once I grew up, but different things happened in life, so I didn't go that route. But I've still stayed. I kept just a strong, curiosity about the mind. And you've noticed in life that if you don't have a healthy, strong mind, if you don't have a good mind, you don't do very well. You get left in the tracks, and they talk about no this or that left behind. But if your mind is not strong, if it's not with it, you will be left behind. And you say only the strong survive, not just muscle, but the mind. Matter of fact, your mind, if it's strong, you can survive anything, pretty much. You can withstand pretty much anything. And with saying that, I also noticed that in our community, in the Black community, our people, when it comes to the mind, I don't know, it's like we feel like, oh, it'll be okay. You go through some stuff, different things happen to you, trauma, big time trauma, especially childhood trauma. And a lot of us, I don't know, there may be a small percentage that seek outside help to get the mind to deal with these different issues or trauma. But we don't usually seek that, our people. Like I said, a small percentage may, but we tend to try to handle things on our own, and we feel as though if little Johnny, we, feed him, let him get some proper rest, keep him away from the trigger or whatever the trauma was, then he'll be okay. But they don't realize that some of these things have a lasting effect, and sometimes it doesn't come out and become crazy until we get older. Because a lot of times we tend to restrain or hold back things, and we don't do a very good job at it, because sometimes these leftover things, baggage or different hurt, pain that has not been processed, has not been healed, hasn't been taken care of, it can come out later. It can come out and express itself in other ways, and you may not even be aware of it. Other people are being hurt by you, though. Other people are feeling the lashes from you because of your pain, that inward thing that wasn't taken care of, and there's other things that may trigger it to come out at certain times. But that's what therapists, counselors, psychiatrists, psychologists are for. Even though we may not believe in, going to see the shrink, as they call them, but they have tools to help when people have these different traumas, or their mind is not quite working optimally, working well to figure out and do well with things. So, like I said, they have the tools and they can help. They're not, I don't know why we take such offense. I guess I don't know what it is that we think, that we don't need it, that we can handle whatever. But man, you can look at the way society is now, especially in our culture, in our neighborhoods. People, I mean, they going through it. Even us young men, us men are going through it. Things happen in their childhood and they don't tell anybody. They just keep it to themselves and try to deal with it. And it's coming out in different kinds of ways, and we don't know what's going on with the person. All we see is sometimes a lot of anger. But those things that are how they deal with problems and situations. Sometimes they're high-headed, can't hardly handle situations, can't hardly deal with things, can't deal with commitment, don't want to deal with commitment, having different type of issues, rejection issues. I dealt with rejection issue not too long ago, and didn't even know that I may have been mildly depressed and not knowing it. So a best friend and I, we were talking one day and just, very open and candid with him about different things when I went through the divorce. And it, I don't know, yeah, there was pain and there was anger and different things. And so, and I was dealing with it the best way I can, because I feel like I have a healthy mind. I feel like I have a good mind, but you only can do so much. That's the thing that I learned. You know what you know. There are things that you don't know, and you could suffer more because of things that you don't know. Just because you have, how can I say it? You have these different skills or tools yourself, like being able to deal with different emotions and different, what's the word I wanted to use? We call it being able, you have, okay, it'll have to come back to me. But anyhow, you have these tools that you learn how to deal with. You know about walls, people having walls up, and different things that you do to protect yourself from more pain or more trauma. A lot of us people put walls around our hearts because we don't want our hearts broken or hurt anymore. So we put up different things, and these different things, people can tell. They don't know exactly what's going on, but they can tell when they approach you, when they talk to you, they have a conversation with them, because sometimes things come out. The way you respond to certain things that they may say or do, and it's like a more overactive response than what it should have been. Where like if it was an ant, you were supposed to be like, oh man, an ant. But instead, you see the ant and you go berserk, call 911, get me some help, over an ant. So it's like it's hyped up, critical, more response than what it should be. And that's when people know, oh yeah, something's wrong, something's going on. But we don't know exactly what to do for you or how to help. But that's why, like I said, we have specialists. We have people who've been trained. They've been given tools. They read up and they have these tools where they can help. Okay, and if you don't want to go to a person, maybe you can get the book if you can figure it out for yourself. But I highly suggest going to a counselor when there are things, when you've gotten so far in life where you feel like the different things you've tried, people are still having issues with you. You've been married 4 or 5 times and you feel like you're a very good person and people around you tell you that you're wonderful and sweet. Well, man or woman, there could be some issues. Like when you get to a certain part in the marriage, I don't know, with strong conflict or anything, it could be anything, you have to take in consideration that there could be other things that you don't know about you or that you don't quite understand about you that's coming, and you're not listening to the partner who's telling you, bae, blah, 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 whatever. But and you're like looking at them like, oh, you crazy. That's you. You trying to put that off on me. All that type of mess. Take in consideration When somebody loves you, if you feel that they love you and care about you, listen to what they're saying. And that's another problem that we have, is that people can see see problems in other people and can talk about it all day long, but they can't see what's going on in themselves. They'll say, ain't nobody perfect. Okay, true. So what are your imperfections then? You see all my imperfections. What are your imperfections? And how are you working on those imperfections? Not just knowing that they're there, but how are you working on them to make sure that those imperfections get in check to where they're not running people away from you or causing problems at your job, at your workplace, your job, or with your children, or with your other family members, or friends, other relatives, anything, anyone. You have to get this stuff in check, not just know it's there and tell us, oh, I'm working on it, I'm dealing with it. And you really not, you're dealing with it from what you know. And if you haven't cleared up the problem, I don't know, let me see. I don't know how long it takes to clear up problems, because mine, look, it took a long time. God had to work with me, because my stuff was jacked up. So you have to see some type of progress. I saw progress when I got down to business with God, and it was like, Lord, I need help with this anger. I need help with the thoughts that I have sometimes that I know are not good about other people. And I need help, big help with forgiveness, because I kept thinking that I had forgiven. And but when you talk to a person and you get heated or stuff comes up and they haven't really said anything much to cause the heat or to cause for you to get all emotional or get angry or whatever, you have to check that. Something's wrong. You still hurt. You're still hurting. So, and I had to get down to business. So it took me a while. I'm telling you, it took me a while. It took me about a good 7-8 years. It's a shame, but it did. We got to be honest here, because that's the only way we get help. We have to be honest and open about things. So it took me about 8 years, and after that 8, I knew then that God I was changing. I would talk to the individual. Cool. I breathe that, get through 5 minutes without going berserk and getting all messed up in the stomach. That's why I really cried on God, because I would be talking, and my stomach would start like boiling, like the acids or something in there. You can get, when you get stressed or you have issues with being too angry, being too stressed, you can cause yourself to get have your stomach acid start attacking your stomach walls, and you get the ulcers, and you don't want that. So, and I'm very critical about the body. You got to keep the body healthy so that you can do what you got to do to fulfill your purpose. So, anyhow, I said that I was going to go and see someone. I'm going to go and speak with a counselor. I spoke with one already, and that was pretty good. That was a pretty good session. Now I want to go, and this was more of a Christian counselor. So I want to go and speak to someone who's maybe a professional counselor. Maybe, I'm not sure. I'm thinking I want them to be Christian, but I'm not sure. They may not have to be, but maybe so, because they have to understand me, because I am Christian. So they can go a little deeper with things, because sometimes there's other stuff at play than just chemical imbalance. Sometimes there's a spiritual, I don't want to say a spiritual imbalance, maybe a spiritual attack, a spiritual something going on there, infestation, possession or something, without the person knowing it. And that's just me. I believe in such things. I believe, okay? And God, the devil, demons, everything, and I know this stuff is real. I know for myself, not what I heard or a tradition or what I think because of what has been drilled in me or indoctrinated me. No, because of what I know. And I'm not crazy because of what I know, like I said. So So after seeking help and not just blaming things on my ex-spouse, knowing that I had a role in what was going on or what happened, so I was I sought help for myself, and then to know, and you have to be real. You have to think about, that's something that some people don't think. I don't know why some people think that they've got it all together, or that they don't do any wrong, or we have to stop that. Because I'm telling you, we're doing stuff and we don't even think we're doing stuff. We could be doing something wrong to somebody and don't even know we're doing something wrong to them. We could be offending people and not knowing that you're offending people. And so we have to be more humble to know, hey, okay, we're human, and we're going to make mistakes. Things are going to happen. And I got to be mindful that because I'm human and I can make mistakes, and I'm dealing with other humans, and some people, everybody's not on the same level. Everybody's not so forgiving. Everybody's not so overlooking to overlook your stuff, overlook you acting up in the corner or you acting up in the center of the room. Everybody not strong enough to overlook that. So you have to deal with people accordingly to where they are. And that's another thing that I had to learn, to grow up and learn, to become, mature. You want to be, I guess, and maybe that is what they would call maturity, is when you know how to handle life. You understand humanism. You can be human and deal with other humans in a good way without being abrupt and blowing up all the time, because people are different from you. And that's another thing I want to speak about, is being different. Everyone is different. And we have to learn how to deal with people in their difference. We're not all the same. We don't all think the same. It used to be a time when there was a lot of common sense, as they called it, where everybody pretty much in the neighborhood or in the community were being taught the same. So it was common sense to know that if you go throwing rocks at Mrs. Peabody's car, Mrs. Peabody will call your mother, or she may come out and spank you herself, but they don't do that anymore. So she would call your parents and let your parents know, and you're going to get in trouble. You're going to get spanked. You're going to get something, a spanking, punishment, something. And so if you messed up in the neighborhood and a person saw you, an elder saw you, an adult saw you, you rest assured you're going to be in trouble that evening. So that was common sense. It was also common sense to respect all your elders, no matter what. We don't go around talking about well, they got to respect me, or they got to do this for me, and then I'll do that for them. Then I'll respect them. No, it was a common sense. It was a common thing for all young people to respect our elders. And I guess you have to have a healthy mind in order to understand that. Well, why should I do this and instead of somebody doing it for me first? Or why should I do this and they're not doing it for me? Or they're not doing it to me? That takes a healthy mind also, to be able to give without being able to receive back. And sometimes you will find out that there are people that you may give more to them than what they give to you. Some people get hurt by this. They feel like they're being taken advantage of. Sometimes if you feel like you're being taken advantage of, you might be. But a lot of times there are people who are just givers. They're the people who they love taking care of the folks. They love giving. And then you have people who are takers, who like to take advantage of people, who like to get over on people. They just got this crazy mindset, and that's not healthy. That's not healthy thinking. I feel that healthy thinking, a healthy mind, wants to put out positive and bring in positive, not bring in positive and put out negative. Taking advantage of people is negative. Using someone is negative. And I believe in karma. What goes around comes around. You're out there doing folks dirty, it's coming back at you. It may not come from the same person. Usually it doesn't. Is there ways that life does its things because of or what we decide to do? Our decisions, our choices that we make. But the healthier your mind is, the healthier, better decisions you will make and choices that you will make. And then, and you really have to think about is, they say if, insanity is doing the same thing but expecting different results. They say that's insanity. So no one wants to be considered insane. So your mind has to think, like when we're doing these things and we call ourselves living life, choosing spouses or choosing friends, we have to keep in mind, well, we have to know, first of all, what we want to attract, what type of people we want to be around. There are different questions you have to ask yourself that your mind has to be able to think. You got to know some things. You may have to read some stuff. When you may have to talk to some people about these things because they're very important, decisions in your life. Like the people who surround you, your circle, your friends. Man, that's so crucial, so important that you have healthy-minded friends, or friends with healthy minds, good minds. Because if you don't, you're going to suffer. You will suffer. Why? Because when birds of a feather flock together, you lay down with dogs, you're going to get up with fleas. Those are old sayings, but they are so true. So you lay down with dogs, you're going to get fleas, meaning the type of people that you run with, some of that stuff that's in them is going to rub off on you. You may be good-hearted, wonderful, beautiful, everything. But once you keep running with them type of people, certain type of people with certain type of mindsets, that's the way they think or the way they do is going to rub off on you. They're thieves, stealers, whatever, going around hurting people, doing different stuff. Eventually, you're going to be doing the same if you keep running around with the people, because we tend to, I don't know, what we're attracted to, and we stay around long enough, we become influenced by people. There's some people who are not influenced, who may not be influenced by folks with negative or diverse behavior from them. Some people are strong enough, where they're leaders or they have this type of personality where they don't take on, they see some mess, but so they may like the person, but they may not like, some of the stuff the person is doing. Like the person may be dead chill, good person, hang around, but they sleep around with different women or different men, and and they're cheating on a spouse, and you don't dig that. You're like, man, that's dirty. But the person may be real cool and everything, so you don't like the way they treat their spouse or the way they handle our queens, but you're like, they okay to hang with though. They do well as a friend. And so that's that's something you have to, I don't know, you have to make that choice. You don't have to ditch them as a friend. You can keep them as a friend, I guess, and just hope for the best that they'll change that behavior about them. It's up to you, because some people can't handle people doing that type of behavior, certain type of behaviors. They're like, nah, I don't want to be around that type of person. And it's not a fear that they may become like that person. They just don't like that type of behavior being done to people. And I can understand that. But we have to be careful. A healthy mind is so important. You have to think. And like I say, surround yourself with good people. Surround yourself with friends who think, who have a good mind. And I guess, you're probably wondering, well, how do you know if a person has a good, healthy mind? By the things that they do, their habits, their behaviors, how they treat themselves, how they treat their mother, how they treat their father, how they treat elders around them, elders that they know or don't know, how they talk to, how they talk to, you, how they talk to others. Let me see. Just how they treat people. If they treat people kind, if they treat people crazy. You know, you have to look at everything how they do, and it needs to be good. You know, it needs to be, and that's how you know if a person is. I like being around good people myself. I mean, I can deal with people who are different from me, who are not good. Yeah, I can deal with them because, you know, you want to love people no matter what. But you have to, but those in your circle, the ones closest to you, the ones that you choose to be friends that you're going to be hanging with and running with, them people influence you and you influence them. So you need healthy minded people. You need good people to be around so that they can say things, they can speak stuff to you that make your mind start thinking. You know, that's what people do. We spark each other to think well. Your friends are I want to say like a balancing wall, like a mirror or something. You know, you have issues that you need help with, and you speak it out to your friends. And your friend, because they're thinking well, they may give you good advice or send you somewhere or to someone who can give you the right type of advice of what you need. You know, not just let it drop and let it be and here you're struggling with stuff. No, good, healthy minded friends are going to be like, oh, okay, man, you need to go and talk to such and such, such. Or this is what you should do, man. You should blah, 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 do this. That, you know, that's what we need, you know, to be somebody to be able to bounce off of, when I say bouncing off, I mean in speaking words, things that's going on with you. You can say these things to them. You can be open and say these things to them. And they take it, not run and go tell Johnny, Betty, May, and everybody else. No, they confidentiality. They know how to hold stuff. They can hold water. They know how to hold the stuff that you tell them, secret or whatever. And they want to help you. You know, their intention is to be a brother or be a sister to you and help you. You know, and those are the type of people, you know, and a healthy mind is where they would try to help you. They wouldn't, you know, send you down a dark path, telling someone, smoke some of this. This will help you. This will help you calm down, to think right. Or drink some of this. Before you know it, every time you thinking of the thing, you grabbing a drink or grabbing a smoke to try to escape or deal with the stuff. And that's not healthy at all. So you have to, we have to really be thinking. You just don't know. There are people going through this stuff. They are going through it. I mean, they're going through it. And the gentleman that I work with, we really want to reach out and do, we want to be very effective. I want to get some people together, some counselors, to really deal with some issues that we got going on in our neighborhoods, in our communities, different, you know, addictions to drugs, drinking, different lifestyles that people are venturing into, and they're having issues, homosexuality, lesbianism, different things that they're having issues, and they don't know how to deal with these things. And we have people committing suicide now, more because of this. More stuff is added, more stress, more just stuff is added to their plate. So we want to help people to become healthy with their thinking, making healthier choices and decisions. But you got to have a healthy mind in order to make these decisions and choices. And no one can really, you know, do it for you. You know, you have your parents who are trying to tell you the right thing to do and this, that, and some kids or young people don't see it. They don't see what their parents are trying to say. They don't see the right or the good in it, and they want to do it their way. And so we want to try to even help people like that who just keep butting their head up against the wall because they think that the older people don't know what they're doing or don't know what they're saying, and they don't want to hear them and stuff. But the older people done been through some stuff. They done become healthier in their mind. They should have at least become healthier. More, I say 90% of them have become healthier in their minds as they became older. And so they can give you advice. They know what's out there. And if they haven't done it themselves, if they don't know what to go to, they know what to stay away from. And they can tell you what to stay away from or what to go to. So we have to be more apt to listen, on app to listen, and to do research, do some digging, do some reading. I hate that saying that they say about black people. It's just horrible. If you want to keep something from a black person, put it in a book. That's so horrible. That's so mean. That's so bad. I don't know how true it is. I mean, I read. I'm not an avid reader, but I do read. I feel like if there's information that I'm very interested in, I'm going for it. I'm going to read. For my profession, I had to go to school. I had to do lots of reading. So I read. And so we have to get a book on, hey, what we want to know about. You know, they got a lot of self-help books out there. Some of them may be cool, some of them may be good. I don't know which ones. There's some authors. Ask around. Ask friends who are avid readers. Ask elders, people who read a lot, elderly people who read, and ask them, you know, what's a good book? I'm going through this or that. Could you suggest a good book that may be good for me to read, or something, or an author who's put very good stuff out there, who's done their research and puts good information out there in the books. And you know, that's a way. They have documentaries. I like documentaries a lot. Listening to other people dig up research and do stuff, and that's a way you can get information. But do your research, please. Do your research. Find information. That's why a lot of times we go through a lot of problems, because we don't have enough information. We don't have enough info. Because we don't have enough information, then we make unwise decisions and choices about things. And that's again unhealthy thinking. You know, it's an unhealthy mind. You're not weighing your options. You're not doing the most. You need to do the most when it comes to your mind, relationships, everything dealing with your mind. You need to be doing the most to make sure your mind is okay. Your mind is worth it. Your clear thinking, clear thought is worth it. You know, to be depressed, have self-doubt, having dark clouds over your life, you feeling like doom and gloom every day you wake up, and you trying to chase the bottle so you can escape from that feeling, that's terrible. That's a problem. Man, so we have to do what we have to do to have a healthy mind. We have to do what we got to do. Get around some good people, some people that you think that are good. You know, you follow your gut feeling. I think God works on the gut. He helps the gut. You got a gut feeling, follow it. You know, listen to it, and get some help. You know, even when you don't think you need help, even the best of us need some help. We need different. There's nothing wrong becoming better. We can become better than what we are. Even those of us who are thinking well and this, that, and the other, think we can do better also. You know, all of us, we can do better. There's no, I mean, you can ask anyone, well, you know, am I perfect? They'll let you know, no, you're not perfect. You can work on this, and this. People tell you, people will let you know where you're at. They love you. They'll talk to you. Choose someone that loves you, because they'll tell you the truth. Not someone, you know, some people have some shady stuff. They may be jealous of you. They may can't hate you, whatever, for whatever reason, and won't tell you the truth. But get someone who loves you. Sister, brother, mama, daddy. So now, what do you think about my personality? How I respond to issues, how I deal with life, how I cope. Do I have the right type of coping mechanisms? That's the word I was looking for. Coping mechanisms. Very important, people. That word, coping, well, 2 words, coping mechanisms. I don't even hear it, but it's very meaningful. And for us, coping mechanisms, we need them to do. That's how you deal with life. That's how you deal with situations and issues and different things. How you cope means a lot. It means so much, and it helps you. You know, we don't want to be too guarded. Your coping mechanisms help you so that you're not too guarded to where you run away from people. They help you where you can be okay and deal with what needs to be dealt with, and stay there. You know, I mean, like, stay in the midst of the people instead of running away from people when you see them coming because you can't deal. But with coping mechanisms, you learn these coping mechanisms, and you learn to deal with people. It makes things better. So a healthy mind. And don't be afraid of the shrinks, the psychiatrists, the counselors. They're our friends. Okay. Be particular. Pray before you go see one, or who you choose, that the kind that you want to see, or who you want to see, whether it be a man or a female, or whether it be Christian, non-Christian. But really think about it. Pray, or even ask others about different their counselor if they've seen some. And they're not all costly. There's some that are reasonable, and then they have different programs out there that can help to pay. Especially, I know on jobs for some employees, not some, but for the employees, some jobs have it where they'll let you go and see a counselor because of job stress or whatever. Because people don't want folks coming up in there with the post office stress, shooting up the company and stuff. So they're trying to watch out for us now, for everybody, to make sure, hey, we want you to have that healthy mind. We want you to be okay, bro. We don't want you going off on the deep end, mad at the boss and coming in shooting up all the rest of us. So people they're being more proactive about these things. So, and we as a culture of people, we have to be proactive too, to take care of each other. You seeing people out in the streets, seeing people in the neighborhood, stuff is going on with them. If you have a good thinking mind, try to talk to them. Try to see what's going on, to see if there's some way you can steer them, help them. Especially our young people, folks, this suicide stuff, man, it bothers me. We already got black on black brothers killing each other and stuff. And I'm trying to get some brothers together for that, to help curb that, not just curb, but to stop it. KRS-One just came out with a new video to help us to think about what we're doing with this killing and stuff. Snoop Dogg had got a video out, I think about 3 years ago, the Unity one, about the Crips and the Bloods coming together. So I'm glad that our people, we're thinking, because some of this stuff is just senseless. They're killing each other over some colors, or killing each other over senseless stuff. That's not a healthy mind, man. And a lot of that is coming because from in the home, stuff that is happening to folks when they're real little, or I don't know, when they're teenagers, what that stuff that's happening in the home or happening in the neighborhood. And folks are not getting over it. They're not getting the help they need. They're not getting the help that they need to be okay. Because some of this stuff takes a process too. Some of the stuff can be quick to get over, but some of the stuff is a process to help the person to heal and get out of that, to be okay. Like women who are raped, girls who are molested by their own uncle, molested by their own daddy. I almost can't even fathom that, to be molested by your own daddy. I can't even see how daddy could even. But people are doing this stuff. Now, we can't turn a blind eye at crazy, because we know stuff happens, even to our little boys. Boys get molested by grown men walking around being macho and being manly and being all this and stuff and being the ladies' man. But he doing stuff to this little boy. It's happening. And the little boy is growing up, traumatized, messed up, with different stuff. You don't know what's going on, but yet we looking at him while he twitching, his wrist is broke. We looking at him, watching him. But he got unhealthy mind. He's broken, he's messed up. Somebody has messed this boy up. And we looking at him, but we need to be looking at that grown fool that done did this to him. We need to be trying to figure out, okay, this boy is acting a certain kind of way. Somebody need to call his daddy and talk to him, tell him, because I see something in him. I see something that don't look right. And I think somebody messing with this boy. Oh, that little girl, oh man, she seems like she getting hot in the tail. Little chest poking out and stuff. I think somebody messing with that girl. Well, parents said, well, daddy, her mama. Because I think somebody may be doing something. Y'all check it out. That's the way we need to be. And tell people, oh, we're not trying to be in your business, not trying to be but I care, I'm concerned. I don't know what's going on with your child, but I think something may be happening because she was doing this, or I saw her doing that, I saw him doing this, I saw him act like that. Check it out. You never know. You can help people. Loving people, that's, man, if we can learn to love each other, love people enough to say, I care enough that I want to say something. You ain't got to do nothing but say something. And say it in a loving way. Don't say it in no crazy way where it turns the people off from wanting to hear what you, because you can be right all day long, but ain't nobody gonna listen to you if you say it in the wrong way. So that even takes a healthy mind, even know how to talk to folks. So this is all good, and we have to learn these things. Because we help us one to another. I'm no stronger than you. You remember that used to be a show called The Weakest Link. I'm no stronger than you. So it takes us to like they say, it takes a village to raise a child. I'm part of the village. We part of the village. So let's do what the village has to do. Let's have healthy minds in the village. Let's strive for healthy mind. No mind left behind. Okay? No weak mind left behind. Let's make everybody have a strong mind. Okay? A strong mind. Everybody. Strong minds. I love that. So that's what we need. That's what we're going for. So in this new year coming up, 2022, help who you can. Reach out who you reach out to whom you can reach out to and give a helping hand. Because when you hear some stuff that's not right coming out somebody's mouth. When you see some stuff that ain't quite right that somebody's doing. Just with love and kindness, talk to them. Talk to them. Give them a helping word. Give them a word that can uplift them and help them to change out of that behavior or the way they're talking or acting. Okay? Or go whatever to the proper channels, to the parents or whatever, and tell them, look, I see something. Something ain't quite right. Something going on. So, and you can probably help. Man, you can help probably deter a lifelong of hurt and pain and anguish that little person may go through because of what's been done to them and what's the trauma that they will take with them through life, not being able to get it right, not being able to heal from it, and their relationships just going down the tubes just because of this hurt, this trauma that has not been healed or been dealt with. And because they have an unhealthy mindset. So, we want to be mindful of each other to have a healthy mind. And I thank you, and you all have a wonderful holiday, and be blessed. All right, bye. Oh, and thank you all for watching.